What's up? What's up? What's up? Uh, where's my screen? There's my screen. What's up, guys? Good morning. How's everyone doing? We're right at a spot where I want to go long. $64.33. Oh yeah, sorry, I am actively. Let's see if we tap into this like 6:30. I really want to. I'm taking a starter long right here. First target, previous day's high. Yeah, here we go. What's up, Ed? I just took a starter because we got all this profit taking right into the open. I really don't want it to go much lower than where it is, right? I'll have to try it again. Yeah, short was beautiful though. Look at that. Right on previous day high. And keep your eye on this. Yeah, right here. It's that's 6,400 on SPX. 5 points lower, 6 points lower on ES. All right, let me get zoom back in here. There we go. All right, well, I got some music going. I'm long. So KB. Yeah, I'm long. I'm looking for previous day high, which like yesterday after hours we 689, and then if we can get back up to like 715, hold the 650 area, which is previous high and gap fill. Also, if you trade ES, you're sitting on previous day's high. 6433 is 6400 on SPX. So there's your marker, like right here. I expect ES to bounce right here. Not getting the reaction I really want. Let's see, come on, buyers. Met a new all-time high on this last push. Tesla's pushing up. Google and Boeing getting destroyed. CrowdStrike down. We're still green by 0.75%, by the way. Did we get to previous day high on QQQ? Yeah, I'm with you. We could definitely come down to that. I'm going to look to scalp this trade here because of that. Yeah, profit taking. I think you're going to get a bounce here. You should touch previous day's high, though, at some point on SPY and QQQ, so I see that too. I think the next short probably gets sold again, and then you get the buy down lower if it pops. But yeah, previous day high probably is going to get tagged. So right here. Wow. All right, my stop is 619. Oh my gosh. That wasn't fun, but I'm still in it. I didn't add to it. What's up, everyone? Good morning, B plus. Good morning, KB. I saw KB already, but this is what I'm expecting to hold for now. I'm glad you mentioned that previous day high because I need to get out. Honestly, I'm hoping this pops. This is probably where we go touch. Did Spy touch it? Not quite. I get in the bounce though. Spy getting the bounce. IWM getting a bounce. I got stopped. Obviously, I know. This is previous day's high on Spy. I'll wait and see if QQQ tags it. That was gross. What was that? $589, 600 to 589. We're getting so extended. It's kind of like yesterday. I'm sorry, 2 days ago. Guys, if you were on that stream 2 days ago with me, oh my gosh. I went on some degen mode time to get back that day. I like Spy right here. ES might be a long right here, actually. I think it's gonna hold there. Try it again. How long DS? Yeah, that's Spy perfect. There we go. Today is a very interesting scenario. Yeah, let's see if we can get to like 42. 40 probably a good first train. 40, yeah. Today is interesting though because you have a lot of profit that people are probably taking. I also think you have a lot of people off sides. First term, yes, is going to be 8.5 points. See if we can get back to like right here. Yeah, well, I don't know if Liberation Day really matters yet. I think, gambling back to your question here, I think what you're going to get is, I don't like this upper wick right now. What I think you're going to run into is you're going to need like a month, 2 months of data. So, for example, like we don't know what the tariffs are going to do to inflation, and so I think it's going to take until that. All right, 1 second, I'm trying to get this strum. There we go. 8 points on ES. I'm going to take my first strum. Oh. All right, 12-point game ES. I'm taking off half. There we go. All right, now we're cooking. I'll take my next strum. up here, 15 points, and then we'll try to get this. We're going to lock in a little bit more profit here into all the ZMA cluster. 648, yeah, I'll take it right here. 647, 13 points. All right, I'm out about 2/3, and I'm back green on the day. All right, sorry. All right, do we get window dressing today? That's a very interesting question. So what? Yeah, it's tough. So normally, I think you would get a little bit in a month window dressing, but we are at end of like, I know we're in the end of a month that's gone on. So that's one thing where it's like, maybe not as much. The other problem is we just had two absolute ripper earnings yesterday with Meta and Microsoft both. We have Apple and Amazon today. Are they going to just absolutely buy up the close before earnings? Like, that's crazy to me. All right, team. Sorry, I'm more locked in now. I had five things going on in my head right there. First hour of data, we'll get it. We've almost got the first 30 minutes, so 30-minute orb. We are pushing to the top of this 30-minute orb. We are right back at R1, which is interesting. 450 whole number, 700 whole number. This area is where I longed last night. Last night I longed the open on NQ, right here. I was trimming here, and I actually had it back on this, and then just trimmed my way up here. I was out fully, actually on this candle right here. I want back over this. I feel much better about things. Injecting here, I don't like. But what's everyone? You guys doing? TV? Did you jump in anywhere? Ed crushed a short off the open there. Crushed. All right. What's up, Blaze? Welcome to the stream. Short, runner, long at 620. I was talking about playing catch up from my poor Globex trading. I actually came in today with good Globex, so I think that first loss really. I was still very net green, but I got it back on this trade. But I just last night the scenario was like, okay, surprise, great earnings from 2 Max 7. I literally just got long at the open. What's up, Willie C? I don't know if volatility is back, but it definitely is moving very nicely to trade right now. Volatility itself, VIX is down, but when you have a massive move, then yes, you get some volatility for sure. I love that. So much better than that. What was it? I get some 20-point range plays on ES, and here we are with almost a 15, 18-point trade on ES. Ooh, IWM. Oh, I'm sorry, never mind, that's Hood. Robin Hood's ripping. Boy. Guys, I'll dive into the Edgeful data very deeply. Once we get closer to that first hour. I don't look at the orb a whole lot. The stats, like, basically you have pretty high double break stats, so don't get a whole lot of everything. Wow. IWM. So what I have, Willie C, let me show you. Previous day high, but look exactly where I'm going to draw the line here. 6,400 SPX. So I had this charted out coming into the day, but if you look, where did we have trouble the other day? Let me get a 15-minute chart, but you can kind of see it there already. So on the 15-minute chart, 6,400 was resistance. This was last Monday. Tuesday, we opened above it, couldn't hold, and started rejecting it. And then now, we opened up above it, came to it, and held it. And so that's why I have this marked right here. You see this? I have this marked 6,400. See if NQ holds on to this. All right. Do you think it's going to retest that again, KB? I don't know. I feel like we could just go. We'll see. Let me take a look around. Nvidia's still over 180. Meta's still super strong. Microsoft is up 5%, but it's still, I mean, it pulled back, but it's still up nicely. Amazon was up about 3%. It's now up 1.5%, so it gave back about half. It's about half gap, if you want to call it that. Costco ripping, wow. AMD strong, Walmart strong, Exxon strong. So like a lot of your SPY components are strong. IWM is screaming to the upside. Tesla's a little weak, it's red. Netflix, Broadcom weak, down 0.5%. CrowdStrike looks like it's bouncing a little bit. Google trying to push back. Yeah, pretty much everything looks like it's pulling back, pushing back up right now. I think we're gonna get back up here to this area again. This right here is where we opened, and then this is where we held before we're doing this all night, and then yep. So I think we're gonna at least get back to 715 here. Come on, yes, take out the high. That'll make this IB look so much better. We may have some ugly divergence on the IB, unless NQ does something wild in the next 20 minutes, which is possible. Right now we have high form first, low form second, and we have a red first hour. But the problem is if NQ stays down here, and ES gets up here, and we have like conflicting data, that's going to be a massive chop type of day. So we'll see what happens, Ed. I see you kind of predicting this out like I do. So we got what, 20 more minutes? What I see so far on ES is pretty constructive. So your opening print was right here. Right now, if we close here or higher, we have at least the first hour green. And we have low form first, high form second on ES. So we'll have two bullish things on ES. We also back tested previous day's high. ES is the clean data-wise one to trade right now. Let me go to SPY and look at the same thing. So here's SPY. You came down to previous day's high. Depending what happens next, but you do have the IB high is second, the low's first, the high's second. It was the same candle because it's a 15-minute, but we just saw it on the 5-minute. But if we go anywhere up here in the next 20 minutes, let me just step here. We have completed this, and we have bullish things to push this up. QQQ though, not looking good. QQQ did make it down here to touch this. So if you see like price action showing short, I would take NQ, go short or QQQ puts. If you're seeing price action bullish, I would be a SPY or yes long. But QQQ didn't touch this, which it probably should. We did back test. We did hold previous highs here. That's fine. And we had fair value here that we tapped into. So I know some of you guys look at that. I'm not an ICT guy, but I just know the terminology and some of the strats over there. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, QQQ, reject here, you target new low, you target previous day's high. That's fully in play. SPY is under the opening price, which is right there. So we'll see what happens. We got 20 minutes. It's gonna look a lot different in 20 minutes, if we're being honest. So yeah, NQ, but NQ is also up a whole lot more too, right? And it's still a little bit more green. It normally is up, the correlation between the two, but I don't know. You have to think maybe you had some trapped buyers up there overnight, or you have people that were hedging yesterday in the after hours. If they were not in on this move or missed out on this move, or just profit taking, right? Anybody that was long, you have what do you say? If you were long anywhere here, let's look at a daily chart. If you were long anywhere in any of this last few days leading up to the earnings, or if you bought the dip yesterday before the earnings, or if you've been long into these big earnings, Meta, Microsoft, etc., big gap up, you're taking profits this morning, especially it's up, lock in some profit, so you're going to get some of this natural action. Here's the pull. Don't hold right here, then oh yeah, then people's going down. Yes. So if you hold here and this moves back up, I like it. But this rejection of previous day's high, and look how many times it's got stuck here. I can actually see that NQ short. I'm not going to take it, but I can see it. I want to stay fairly bullish on ES, but we'll see. We're below that opening price. I don't know. So maybe does NQ close down? What do you guys think? If you had to, would you long ES or short NQ? So what's the chat doing today? KB, what are you doing? Oh, Blaze, I saw you sneak in here. What's up, Blaze? Willie C, what are you thinking? So the gap fill in QQQ says bullish because the gap is so large you don't fill it. Like look at just to look at some of the data here. Look at this gap. A gap this large on QQQ, 89% of the time it's not going to fill. Now that being said, the gap on QQQ is massive. It's all the way down here, all the way down here. SPY's gap is also massive. 83% chance on SPY. So you have a less than what would be 17% chance on SPY to go fill this. And on QQQ, to come down here is a, what, 11% chance? So, yeah. All right, Ed, why ES short? So ES is the stronger asset. NQ is the weaker one. If I was going to short something, I would want to short Nasdaq. That's just my opinion. Hey, if you have some confluence, then absolutely. I mean, I know you already crushed the first short on ES, and sometimes I know that's what people trade, right? Like I trade NQ more than I trade ES, so sometimes I see something in the market going down, like that's what I do. When I see a little divergence, I try to get everything in my favor I can. But I am curious why you would do ES short and not NQ short here. Now, if it's just your preference, if you don't trade NQ, that makes perfect sense. But to me, it seems like if you were going to long something, you would long this, and if you were short something, you would short this. But that's just how I approach it, right? There's a million ways to skin a cat, as they say. Like the 710 to 715 area is what I like on NQ. This might be the correct answer here. Short NQ, or even better, wait. That might be the actual real answer here is wait. I'm sitting in yes long runners. I have what, a quarter position left. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. So there's Ed. You guys heard me. I was going back and forth with Ed here a little bit. Ed's rationale right there, looking at value area high, value area lows. I like that, Ed. Makes perfect sense. And then, yeah, I know a lot of people that won't touch NQ. There's a guy that is a futures trader that 40-year bet, traded on the floor back in the day for years and years. He trades only ES when it comes to futures. He won't touch NQ because he does the same thing. He can't properly manage and define his risk, or at least he doesn't feel like he can, right? Because of how volatile it can be. Yeah, Cliff. So I mean, I guess if you're trying to short ES, do you risk above this session high? Do and I guess you have R1 up here. You also have like 450 psychological. So I mean, maybe you could risk up here, but that's a lot of risk. I mean, your target would definitely be down here, previously high, probably 435. But last night at the open, this is exactly where we held. We held it again here with a big tweezer. This kind of looks like a flag ski. Doesn't have to be though. But I also see this. I see overnight area. I mean, really, this entire thing right here. But you see all this stuff from like the London session, and then I zoom in and I see upper wick, upper wick, upper wick. We got the bottom wick too now though, so it's like, okay, sellers were trying to get control. They came down, buyers stepped back in. Now what happens? Stuck under VWAP and the 21. This is a tough spot. This could go either way. There you go. It says stop just above 64.50. I don't hate that trade. I like it better on NQ. I do think you could short NQ against this, depending how much risk you're wanting to put on, and you try to get the new low. We got 10 minutes until that first hour sets. I'll feel much better about it then. Also looking at this right here. This blue line is my EMA 9, and boy, that's a tough trend indicator right there when it's just immediately getting smacked on the EMA 9. But we are holding above previous all-time high. And the gap fills what, 64? So if we look, we're 64. 64 is right here. So here's where the gap fill was. So this is where we closed yesterday and reopened last night. This is the previous high that we had the other day. But I see it. I see both sides. Here, I'll draw that out just so you guys can see it on the chart here. Short positions, if you went short here. Are you looking for new low? Even if you looked for this. Yeah, so right there, ES. So here's, you take your short right here on ES, you're risking what, basically 6 points to get 12. That's a 1.5 risk reward ratio. I don't hate that. Globex low, so right there, 31. There you go. And yeah, look, if you risked just like right over that high and you looked for 31 at Globex open, it's actually even better risk reward. 2.6. Ooh, KB hit the short as well. All right, let me get my. I put my stop on the last quarter position right here. It's not in profit, but it's a point below. Interesting. Looks like QQQ is going to go finish this. Yeah. Price action looks like it's telling me down. So it looks like we want to come down here. Can SPX break this though? I don't know. Eight minutes, we'll get all this data. We'll get all this data here, but what I'm seeing is we're not looking for a gap fill. Let me go to QQQ because that's what I would rather short. Don't have the IB just yet. IB by rejection is going to be bearish. Opening candle, this should be red bearish. This is going to be bullish, but we haven't touched. It says we've touched previous day high, but we haven't. We're just above it. So really, it should say broken, but we haven't come back to touch it. Like, so right here, outside day, reverse. No, not yet. Reversal target 570.62. That's on QQQ. Bias is bearish. So what does that tell me? That tells me I have IB high, IB low, high first, low second, should break the low. We have not touched this. We should come back and touch this. Those are high probability odds. Let me pull those odds up just so everyone sees it. Bullish outside day, 69% of the time you come back and touch it. So 69% of the time you're going to make it down to here. So we're not looking for this, but we are looking for this. And the IV says that we should break down. So that's where I'm at. If I'm looking to short something, I was short NQ, and I'm probably looking for, yeah, right there. First target would be there. Second target would be there. If we go to NQ, so first target 589, probably full target 550. There it is, laid out, ready to go. ES on the other hand, as long as we hold this, I would rather see QQQ take that out. As long as you're over this, I think you look fine. Now, 5 minutes left. SPY. Here's the high. The first hour right now is bearish. Let me show you the IB. The low is first, the high is second. So SPY has a higher odd chance of breaking the upside. Just kind of negative news out about a firm. All right, Ed. So a couple things. Edgeful, I think it's $49 a month. I don't know. I haven't looked until I haven't subscribed to this thing for like over a year, so I haven't even looked to see what the prices are. I believe it's $49 a month. I can give you a 7-day free trial. Actually, let me drop that in the chat for you. That way you can check it out and see. But what I want to add to this is they will build anything. So like, look, all these reports over here, that's their categories. All these reports over here, like 5, 6 of these were actual reports given to them, or that they started with. And then I would say probably like 20, 25 of these were suggestions by users that they built for somebody, if that makes sense. So if there's like a certain, is there something you use that's quantifiable? If then statements, which I've had them do a couple things for me, things that I like as well, you can build that out. Here's a, in the YouTube chat right there, boom. That link should give you 7 days. So it'll ask you to check out whatever, put in, your payment information. But you can check it out for 7 days for free. And then if you cancel within that, you shouldn't get charged. Now, with anything that you're like trying out, obviously 7 days isn't a whole lot of time to figure something out. I usually say give it a month just to try it out. The other thing it'll give you is all these indicators. So like if I go to my invite only, you see all these indicators. Almost all of those reports have some type of indicator that goes with them. So like right now there's gap fill, there's like Fibonacci by session. I actually like this one a lot. Fibonacci by session tells you where your fib lines are. Gap fill, this is IB, previous week's range. There's previous week's high all the way down here. Flip that back off, you can see it. And then that's previous week's range, sorry, previous day's range. This one makes my life so much easier because it just literally marks it immediately. I don't have to think about it, go do it. You see it over here on my screen as well for the futures. It looks like they're buying this. Oh, you understand. Hey, it's funny. I have to explain that to a lot of people because like some people are like, oh, well, can you do a stat where like if we wick through VWAP and then come back under and it's like, okay, well, how do you quantify that into code, right? But like the if then statements, you understand code, Ed. That's the thing. Pretty much anything that you can quantify, they can build a report and build the data sets around it. And they actually like doing that for people. Like that's one of the cool things about Edgeful. The guy that created it, Andre, he absolutely like he just started building it in Excel. He started just doing all these data, and then it got too big for an Excel sheet, and so he started building it out like into an actual like program, and then it blew up into what it is. And like they love building new, what do you say, new sport, like new reports, whatever, for people. They love it. Like actually, for example, if you look at so this IB indicator right here, let me flash it so you can see what I'm talking about. This IB indicator. You have 3 dots here, or you have 3 lines in this. So you have the high, you have the low. This is the midpoint, or 50%. This is 25%. This is 75%. I just noticed from trading for a long time and watching, the midpoint of the orb was like a very, what do you say, like very area of interest, we'll say. So they actually went in and just added these little lines on, like, if I show you, mid levels right here, it's 25, 50, they're customizable, but they actually went in and added those for me based on my idea. And then from there, they built reports that actually looks at retracement. So one of the things that I like on this IB, and let me just go, we just got that first hour, by the way. IB by rejection. Here, I'll just go to the IB report. So if we look at initial balance, so right now, 3% chance that we don't break either side. So that tells me what, 97% chance that we're going to break one side or the other. We should break the low on QQQ and NQ. 72%, we'll just round, make easy numbers. 72% of the time, we're only going to break one side. And then the sub report, I like this one by retracement. We do break the low. So look, if we break the low on NQ today, break down, you break the low, you come back at least to that 25% level, 62% of the time. 43% of the time you make it back to the midpoint. But beyond that, so like, for example, we should break this low down here, and then we have a decent chance to come back to here, 62%, 44% chance of coming back to here, and up here is just a 12% chance of happening. So not only do we have first hour of the market's red, so that's bearish. We haven't touched this. Yeah, I feel like I've got a short NQ. I feel like I got a short NQ. ES is still strong, but I feel like I got a short NQ. Here's why. Let me put it all. I'm trying to put it all on the screen at once here. All right, gap fill. We're not worried about how far it goes, right? So we're not looking for the full gap to fill because it's such a big gap. It's not. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna close out the rest of my ES long right here, and I'm looking at shorts for NQ. Sorry, that's what I was. But don't care about the gap fill. What I do see is the IB has not broken yet. We should break the low side. IB by rejection. See, this says bearish. That means IB high formed first, low formed second. You should break the bottom side. Opening candle continuation is actually bearish. Should go down. We have not touched previous day's low, so we should come down and touch it. Go back to a 15-minute chart. We should take this low out. So this should shoot down to like 600. We should see this at least go to here, if not down to here. I think you have a high chance of coming down into here. Yeah, we should get this break. All the data says we should get the break. A little late trying to get into a short here, but we should at least get 600, 590. Remember I looked at this earlier. This is your target. Yeah, you should get this right here. Good short, by the way. This is kind of looking like this wants to play out and this wants to hold here. Yeah, I see that pivot point down there, 2 KB. We should get the flush and break here, though. Just like that 590. You did get the break right there. You should just touch this previous say high. So I'm gonna leave it here. We should touch this though. Come on, do something. I'm just waiting to see what happens here with the S and what happens here. Look, QQQ should touch this. We got the breakdown. We want previous day high, which on NQ is 589. It's gonna be criminal if all we got is like a wick below the IV. You may get another shot at it here. But I don't like that you took off one data point off the table, but not the other one. It's much cleaner if it just all happens together. Bookmap doesn't really have. Bookmap has a bunch of liquidity way below us on ES and way above us, and NQ has it way above us. Ed, there's actually some reports about like session correlations. So there's a like if Asia and London is green, then New York has like green probabilities, like that kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I haven't even dove into. I mean, like it's just like with like any technical analysis, you could look at 97 technical factors. I find the ones that work best for me, and I check a new one out every once in a while. But I know that those exist. I've seen other people use them. I think you're gonna get a flusher here. I just want it to come down one time to 590. Then I could think about longing again, depending on what ES does over here. Who said they thought SPX was coming back to 6,400? Because we're like right here. Somebody said that. Yeah, SPX should test this again. Boy, look at this. Bah. Yeah, I think we're gonna drop here. Was you KB? So, you know what I didn't look at was what's the stats look like on ES or on SPY, either one. IP by rejection was actually bullish, but the opening candle was red. We did come back down on outside day. Ooh, did we not touch it? I thought we touched it. Oh, we didn't touch this by a penny? Wow. Okay, so it's still in play. So it's still short right here. It's definitely still short. Come on, pay my people. What's up, Patrick? Pay all my people in the shorts. Here we go, flush. Give me a flusher. Come on, give us a flusher. Rug it for the people. Rug it for my people. One time for the one time. Patrick, how you doing, my friend? Welcome in. Pay my people. That's how I operate, brother. Look, I'm not one of those ones that, like, if I'm not in a trade, like, nobody else can, like, dude, I'm cheering for everyone. It's all of us trying to make it. Bro, I need this new chair. I need a new chair so bad. Wow. $5.99. It couldn't come back. It still hasn't touched it. It still hasn't touched it. Like it said, it has not played out yet. But hey, that IB did play out. Oh, you're right on SPX's support. This is a tough spot. NVIDIA new low. NVIDIA's right on 180, a key number. Everything gonna sit on a key level all at once here? What else do we got? Amazon's at a double bottom ahead of earnings. Come on, one flusher. Do it for my people. And I agree for the most part on this. The one thing I would say is actually we're not even competing against big banks and institutions as much. They're playing a different game than what we're playing, especially as like day traders and stuff. They're playing a different game. What we're doing is we're collecting the in between, right? Here's the flusher. Come on, flush it for my people. There's 6,400. Watch QQQ, previous day's high. Wow, there it is. UNH is getting smoked again. There it is. All right, I heard a headline there. There it is. Come on, touch it. There it is. Previous day's high on QQQ. Finally, target reached. Boom. Let's go, chat. KB getting greedy over here. Ed said UNH deserves to be smoked. KB getting MRP. I would not be surprised to see a bounce very soon, but we'll see. You've played out all of your bearish probabilities with this right here, basically. But if you lose this level, yeah, you got another 10 points down, and maybe to here. So I'm glad, even though I played that long earlier, I'm glad I started looking at the data and saying, okay, wait, I am fighting data, and I got out. And I made some money. And I know you guys probably made a lot more money than me on that. Oh, what a... It's right after the South Side. Chris, what's up, Chris? KB, that is a 11% probability, by the way. 11%. If anything, this is probably long right here. I mean, the problem when you break previous day's high is you have green close. We're not even close. This is going to be tough. Because your gap fill is down here. You shouldn't reach that just based on probabilities. You should have hit here. Another day, this could be the spot. All right. Hey, appreciate you being here. Yeah, to me, that was your layup trade. I was too late to react to get into it, but your layup trade today was shorting NQ or QQQ, looking for this previous day high and looking for that IB low to break. You had IB high versus IB low. That's one statistic, strong statistic, by the way. We can take a look at it. One strong statistic to the downside. You had first hour of the market, red, strong statistic of coming down. You should break the IB low and you should touch previous day high. When you open up above previous day high, the statistics that you come back and touch it, 69%. I remember looking at that earlier today. So boom, and look where this touch is. Look where this wick is happening. So like even if we eventually come down lower than this, just the fact that you see a reaction right on your level, that's what you need to know, okay? That means I'm doing something that somebody else a lot bigger than me in the market is also paying attention to, right? So like if you're a scalper and you long right here, you're already catching a little bit of a bid. I mean, look, you long right here, So you've already got a 15-point scalp trade. Now remember, now that we've broke the IV low, we have a 62, 63% chance to come back and at least test this 25% retracement level. Also a logical, Ed's on fire today. Also a very logical place to take profit. If you were short anywhere in here, and look, even if I go to yes, same thing. If you got short anywhere in here, this is one of your main targets, right? You're probably going to front run it here. Look at that. Boom. ES, you should break one side or the other. The statistics are a little bit better for up, but we did have first hour red. So we're probably going to get this break. Once those are all out of the way, I can think about long. I can't think about long until the IBs are broken. Now I can try to think about long. Boom, are you going to get your pivot point there, KB? Boom, there it is. Here's your pivot point right here. Blue line on my chart. Beautiful. KB, look at that. Shorted it right there. KB. Boom, KB. Look at KB. Bro, my chat is absolutely crushing it today. Whoa, boom, there it is. KB just got paid too. Dude, my whole chat got paid, absolutely paid today. This is absolutely disgusting. I need to make a post about all this data. All right, guys, I'm gonna send out this information for you. Just look how beautiful this is right here. Sorry guys, I'm just getting this data posted for everyone. Well, you guys got it first because you guys were here live. Paper wants me. I have it like playing my ear. I can't really pace. Like I got too much stuff going on. Boom, Willie. What's up, Littlefoot? I saw you sneak in here, by the way. What's up, Littlefoot? Willie got the short and ES myself. Boom, plus 840. Let's go, Willie. Boom. What a day. Hey, MRP, I had to make a comeback. I got ran over a little bit on Tuesday. And you know what's funny? I actually went back and reviewed what happened on Tuesday. I went back and reviewed it. I ignored like 3 data points. That was all on me trying to buy that dip. Maybe some of the others were here. And of course, after like 3 losses, it was the 4th one that would have worked out. Hold on. Okay, they were just talking about tariff stuff there on from the White House. Sorry, I had to make sure that wasn't like huge news. Tariffs will go back to August levels for those that don't have a deal framework in place. All right, but no, MRP. I had to get back. I had to come back with a vengeance today. I had 3 losses in a row, and I managed it well. I mean, I can take 3 losses in a row, and I'm okay as far as like blowing up an account. But I did get myself into some trouble that day, and was able to battle back. It doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes you just can't battle back. Oh, I took this position off forever ago. Sometimes you can't battle back. Sometimes you can, right? I was able to battle back that day. I think I ended the day with like $200 after being down like 1,500 or more. Maybe no, probably more than that. But I made it back. But either way, that's not the point. The point is, I went back to review. What did I do wrong? And I had multiple data points going against me that I was trying to fight, trying to buy that dip instead of waiting for some type of price action confirmation for 1, and 2. I should have stayed in the short. Now, KB probably remembers we were short that day, like 590, and it dropped like 200 points. And here I was just trying to buy the dip instead, but I had the original short. SPX getting absolutely smoked right now, by the way. We lost that. We went down those 10 points I talked about. Yeah, we lose this, should go 10 points. There's the 10 points. Right there, we're SPY. This is an interesting spot on SPY, QQQ. This area is really interesting. All these highs from yesterday. So the problem is, big gap up. Like where we are here compared to like even a 9 EMA, anytime we get up like way above that, you just see like people are taking profits. I mean, this gap up day, we came back down. It's just been the theme lately. And it happens to all of us. And KB actually tried to talk me out of it. KB did. And KB, remember, we were in the short. We were in the short. And I said, no, I want to try to buy the dip under this. But I had 1 data point and 1 scenario in my favor. I had 3 against me. That was my mistake. I went back and reviewed all of that. I just want to probably know that for sure. Patrick was down 2 days down and a couple thousand down on the week. Yeah, I saved it, and that was not fun. I would have rather just taken 1 loss than taken 3 losses and fought my way back, because the amount of like mental capital I spent that day wasn't fun. It was not fun. Hey, part of it. It's part of it. Anybody tells you that they're winning every single day, no. unfollow that person immediately. Somebody's never had a red day, never, talked about having a loss or losing trade, call out trades all the time, and they never do it. I kind of want to see, what does this look like? All this golden retrace got 43 right there. I kind of want to take a longer here. Let's see if we can get back to like 600. Well, because I think I gotta try along here. Where's SPX? It's tough. It may be a little bit early. Yeah, I'm gonna try the long here. Thank you. Risk like 20 points to make 50. Absolutely, Ed. Absolutely. Look, there's people that go on incredible runs where they don't take a loss for a while or whatever, but you're gonna have losses. I don't like the immediate pivot point rejection. I like where we're coming off of though. 589 probably target. Yeah, let's try that. Let's go 589 target. First trim. I'm gonna front run that actually 584 fair value. So first trim 37 points. Second trim will be at 600. Runners can go where they want. Boom! Feel me? Come on. Bounce this thing. Let's get back to EMA 9. All right, my cost basis is actually up here. I got in a little late, 552, so that'll be 32 points. I think I'm going to go ahead and move my stop up to slow. So 20 points to get 30 on the first trim. Ooh, I hate when music does this. Okay. Trump agrees to extend 90-day deal with Mexico. I'm looking at this True Social post from Trump. Come on, get a little pop up there to 84. I cannot believe this did not fill me. Well, what did that go to? 83.75. It missed me by a tick. That's insane. You know what? I don't really pay attention to risk reward ratio. I pay attention to the chart. So like for me, I wanted a long down here, so I'll just kind of risk down here based on that low, and I'm looking for this trim here, and I'm looking for the MA9 right there. All right, I'm gonna take this trim here. Oh my gosh, I ran away from it again. Yeah, not filming. We also should probably back test this orb low, IB low. I'm gonna have to take a trim here. Really needs to hold over this though. I don't like this reaction. At least I got the trim off. Couldn't even get to yesterday's high. Oh, we basically did on QQQ. Close enough. All right, I'm going to protect profits here and close. All right, got one trim off. Close the rest above break even and profit. I'm okay with that. Price action is not giving me a solid combination of what's going on here. Yeah, so like risk reward, like I like to have, you know, the 2-to-1. You know, if I'm risking 20 points, I want to make 40 points, like that kind. But it all depends, like on your trading style, how often you trim. So like for me, risk reward doesn't really make sense in the long run because like if I just draw this on here. So let's say I risk 25 points. I'm long right here at this golden fib. And I risk 25 points to make 50. All right, that's a 2.0 risk reward ratio. But the problem is, that's if I hold the full position from here to here. If I trim here, if I trim a second time here, this isn't a full risk reward ratio anymore, right? Because I've taken it off. So, yeah. Glad I got out of this. I'm glad I got out of this. But what I'm saying is, if I take a full position here, but I'm trimming here and here, if it gets here, I don't have a 2-1 risk reward ratio anymore, right? But I'm also, as I take my trims, I'm gonna start bumping that stop up. So usually, I take my first trim and leave my risk. If I get to like half out or second trim, I usually move up to like right below break even on that. So that's why I personally don't pay attention to risk reward. Now, some people that do trade look me low on SPY and ES. So another thing I do pay attention to is if like there are people that trade that like if they enter here, their full profit is here and they don't trim at all, right? They hold full position, whatever. I know people that trade that way. I don't trade that way. I do risk my trades and I trim profits along the way. That's a system that's worked for me. I used to only trade like NQ, and you know I would take 1 or 2, but I just didn't have room to trim. But like if I take 12, 15, whatever MNQs as it goes in my favor, I can take off, you know, 3, 6 early. I can take off another 3, and then like even one at a time if I want. But like I progressively trim like trend as it goes. I can't do anything here. I can't short knowing that it's 11% probability to go fill that gap. We are getting a lot of news though. A lot of tariff news. You should get that pivot point. You know, I don't have data on this, but like we have not touched the pivot point on ES. Let me see this. What's this say, Willie? P&L progression for me today. I think we could long it here off the pivot point. I really want to long it right here. Sorry, Willie, I got distracted. We should make our way back up here. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. This probably is long off this pivot point here. I think I don't like is this golden retrace did not hold. I mean, it held originally and then whoa. We haven't even touched the 21 all day, so this is some of the like awareness things that I do, guys. We haven't touched this 21 EMA all day. We should get back to it at some point, so it'll continue down like this, and at some point there'll be a buy that intersects. So we should have something like this happen. If we come all the way down to like 461, I have to take a one. That's crazy if we do fill this gap. $510 was a level the other day. I remember that. Yeah, 510. We do have that. Who mentioned window dressing earlier? Because this creates a scenario where you may get end of day. Whoop. If we come down like this, you could get like an end of day just whoa. We need like a button. If we fill this gap, I'm definitely gonna try it long. really want to try it right here. I don't want this to go any lower, actually. Let this just die and then try it. We're getting into. We are going to fill this gap. Like I said, so I looked at this earlier. 11% chance that you fill this gap. That's the kind of territory that we're in right now. Yes, right here is your like one. So that's your -1 extension of the IB. So basically, your IB range is this. Oh, I'm sorry. Your IB range is this. So one more range equal value is there. Look, the gap fills right here. So like we're about to fill a gap that we shouldn't even be filling. That's what's crazy to me. So that tells me, and look, this is like our multiple in a row. I think you look for this to just like bottom fall out, then you buy it. Should get a relief bounce. My man Ed crushing it over here. What if we stop right here, 15 cents above the gap, and just don't fill it? Like, and the statistic stays true. I'm longing. Wait. I haven't entered yet. I really want to long it right here, but I'm gonna wait. Maybe it gets one more push down. I almost want to take just some QQQ calls. Wow, the calls are so expensive for today. Yeah, I like this. I like this long. Just gonna take a starter. It's too extended from the EMAs. We're right at break even. I really want to get back up here. I'm just, because we are sitting on this gap, really want to finish this, but we get back over this and it's good. We're right at the -1 extension. There's InQ. InQ actually filled the gap. Try to get back to 537, then you try to get back to, where's the pivot point? 543, and then 569. So you could say trim here, probably trim here, or here. Yeah, probably here. So I'd say trim here. We'll target right here, and maybe that 21 and this comes together. We'll see. On the 5 minute, you may even get something with another down. But I just think you're overcooked. When you haven't touched the 21 EMA, what? When's the last time you touched it? Basically right at the open. 15, and it's, yeah, over 2 hours. But they are still selling this thing. I went super small in the starter because I wanted to add, but maybe this is the better spot to wait for. You may just grab QQQ calls instead. Oh. No, too little small ad right there. Wow. It was going to open between $63 and $65 apparently. We'll see. I really want to own Figma, but like I'm so scarred by I'm so scarred by freaking IPOs from 2021. Like I'm just scared to death to do IPOs. All right, first round 30 points. I did add down there. Got my yeah, 30 points is the first trim. I got 38. I really want this pivot point though, and then back to previous day's high. I hear you. My rule for IPOs is I don't touch them until they go base down below IPO price. It doesn't always work. Speculation that Tesla is going to expand to more states like New York and Florida. Uber's getting hit a little bit on that. Tesla's not really reacting. I mean, look, if you're long term, it's just the way IPOs have been going. It's been ugh. Pop back over this. Pop over the 9. Sometimes I like Ed. I like that 9 and 21 on like a 1 minute. Like if you're in a strong trend, if that 1 minute pops back into the 21, oh man. Sometimes just the 9. But like what I look at, if we haven't touched the 21 EMA in 2 hours or all day, at some point those are gonna meet. I mean, it may be like further out here, but at some point those things are gonna meet. Who's that guy? What's up, Daily Trader? Welcome into the stream. We're almost done here. I'm right at the 2 hours. I kind of want to see this trade play out a little bit. What a long here. Here we go. Come on. Gonna get back to this previous day high. Back over 570. Don't want to reject here, and I don't want this to go red. I want to lock in profit. I haven't hit any like big trades today. The ES trade was actually a really good one. Take that back. The ES long this morning right here was a good one. Since then, I've just been managing risk a little bit. Come on, I want this trim up here at the pivot point. Also, the outer VWAP band, being this far outside of it, you should get back to it as well at some point. The VWAP is so much further above us. I don't know that we may get that by the end of the day. This may like come together. We'll see what happens. Daily trader, I feel like I know who you are somehow, but I can't figure it out. Here we go. Come on. Well, let's get some short covering. I'm trailing my stop up here, 518. 50 points, I guess I could go ahead and take the trim. I really want that full target though. I'm gonna be patient on this one. Yeah, KB, are you in that? I want 569 and I want this like 580. And I really, look at this, the 21 is right on previous day's the previous day high that I drew earlier. So remember this 589, this was yesterday's like intraday high, New York session high, 589. Look, 589 right here, right here. It's also the 21 right now. That would be beautiful. Hey, good trade though, 40 points. 40 points on NQ is nothing to turn your nose up at. I don't care if a trade goes 200 points. If I win 40 points, even if it keeps going 200 points, you still won, right? Like that's the way I look at it. There it is. There's my trim right there. Boom. All right, so that target hit. Let's get back to here. Come on, here we go. Come on, if I can get an 80-point trade here before I shut down the stream. Look at that outer view up, man. All right, my stop's going all the way up here. like 530s. 20 points in profit. Come on, give me that full target before I close out the stream. Come on, give me that full target. Go down to runners only. We hit that 589, 21 EMA. We hit it on ES right here. IV low coming in too, be careful. I'm gonna go ahead and take it here, guys. 70 points. It's just 580. So go ahead and take it down to runners. And we'll just... All right, runners only here. That was a lot better trade. Yep. All right, guys, I'm going to runners only here. My time is up. Yeah. All right, guys, I've got to close out the stream. I've got some other stuff coming up here. I'm going to let these runners do their job. Stop, put it right here, 530 or so, but it's like 10% of a position. So that was a great trade there. Bob, you just slide in right at the end here. Yeah, one of my sons is giving me the secret sauce in the back right now. All right, guys, I've got to jump off of here. I've got some other stuff to take care of. Edgeful data absolutely crushed it for us on the short side. I know the chat, you guys probably crushed it way harder than I did. I stayed out of trouble looking at the setup. I didn't really get in anything, but a couple trades worked out pretty nicely and much better than Tuesday's stream. So a little nice little bounce back stream here. Hope you guys have a great, profitable rest of your day. I'll be on Spaces. I'll be in my Discord, not my Discord, the one that I participate in. And yeah, I'll be back next Tuesday and Thursday, live stream right here on Wolf Financial and Edgeful, YouTube X, both. There she goes to 4 places. So find me somewhere, hang out with me. Appreciate the chat today. The chat was on fire today. You guys were absolutely crushing it today. So appreciate all you guys. KB, Bob, Ed, appreciate you stopping by. Ed was crushing today. MRP, I saw you in here. Daily Trader, Bob sneaking in here at the end. Dr. J was in here a little bit earlier. I know I saw Littlefoot. Willie C was here this morning. Who else was here early in the morning? Patrick came in early this morning. Who else? There was somebody else here early. Zach came in. I saw Zach Lloyd in here this morning. Somebody else. Who am I missing? Chris came by. Chris Too Deep came by. There we go. Cliff was in here. That's who. There we go. All right, guys. I'm out of here. We'll see you guys next week, and of course on Spaces, like always.